I'm Mark Keene from Keene Engineering.
And I'm Pat Keene, and we're here today to show you our lineup of sluice boxes. Keene Engineering has been building mining equipment for over 73 years. All of our equipment is made here at home in the U.S. Me and my brother, we're third generation gold miners. And we're here today to show you all of our different sluices. Mark?
All right, so here's where we start off. This is our A51A Super Mini Sluice. Really nice little sluice box for backpacking and running in low water conditions. This is our A51 sluice. This is a great mid-sized sluice with still really good production capability, but small and compact enough for packing into areas. And then we have kind of the workhorse of the whole world, which is called the A52 sluice. It's a big, high production sluice, easy to use, easy to set up, and I'll let you.
And this is our newest sluice. This is the A52S. This is a sluice where you do not need to classify your material. You typically classify material that you feed in the sluices to 1/2 inch or smaller, but this incorporates a grizzly bar, a punch plate, a woven mesh wire, and another punch plate. And how that sluice works is it allows all the larger rocks to go over the top of the riffles so that the rocks don't disturb the superfine gold that gets caught underneath. And also a nice feature about this box, it has a push pin and a leg that you can actually change the angle on, and it will lock into different positions. And also allows you to be able to telescope the leg to work on any different type of topography or any type of area.
You know, something interesting, this sluice and this sluice is basically the same thing. What you can do with this one, you can actually slowly upgrade the entire box to make it turn into one of these boxes as well. So.
And also with a lot of our sluice boxes, everything is made to be expandable.
Yeah.
We make hoppers for them, we have header boxes for them, we have larger high banker attachments that can be operated either by 12 volt or it can be operated with a gasoline motor.
Really, really expandable equipment. So if you buy a sluice box, either one of these two here, it'll be the last sluice box you ever buy, because it'll, like Pat said, you can turn it into a high banker, you can turn it into a trommel sluice. Extremely versatile, and that's one of the main features that we offer on our sluice. Everything is expandable. All right, guys, so I'm going to go through a couple of the basic construction aspects of a Keene sluice. First of all, we use a relatively robust aluminum. It's an 063. I've seen a lot of the other sluices made, the imports, very, very flimsy. This thing will last you decades as opposed to days. But the sluice box, we offer a indicator mat, which basically allows you to see the gold as soon as it hits the box, so you know if you're in the gold or not. And then we have a green carpet, an expanded metal, and a riffle design. And the combination of all three of those just does a fantastic job. You can see even down to the carpet that we use. We use a very interesting carpet. It's a proprietary carpet. You have like a double rib, double gap, double rib, double gap. And the combination of these two running together makes one of the most forgiving and the best recovery system of any sluice in the world. Even down to our latching system is really robust. If you look at this, the riffle board just lifts out and reinstalls in seconds, and you can even tell by the power of the latches. So these latches will last you, again, decades versus days. So very, very robust.
And this is our riffle design that we use in a sluice box. It's a Hungarian riffle. And how a Hungarian riffle is, as a water material passes over the top of the riffle, it creates an eddy current. That eddy current vacuums and sucks the gold back behind the riffles. And the wonderful thing about this design of riffle, it has a constant exchange. What it does is it constantly replaces the lighter material with the heavier material. And this, in conjunction with the expanded metal, makes for a great catch. The little fibers of the carpet have a tendency to hold on to the small gold particles, and the expanded metal are almost like little miniature riffles. And when you get that material all working its way in conjunction, the gold will actually stay almost like it's glued down to the carpet. And what's also nice is with the exchange factor And with the protection of the riffles, you don't have gold migrating down to the end and possibly out of the box.
Yeah, a lot of the other riffles that we've seen on the market, they tend to, the gold gets caught quickly, but then it's constantly migrating down the box. When you have the advantage of the Hungarian riffle, the carpet, and the expanded metal, it just locks that gold into place. It gets locked into the fibers. Where the other riffles or pockets or catches, the gold's constantly migrating down the sluice.
And those are also traps, where a lot of the traps, as soon as they fill up with black sand, that gold will skid right over the top of it. You got a lot of surface area and you got a lot of catch for the gold and black sand. But if the sluice box is designed right, you should find all your gold in the first third to the half of the box.
Yep. And I've seen, when we tested the other sluices, we were finding gold all the way through it, and that's not cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go through our basic lineup of sluice boxes, starting off with our A51A mini sluice. Very small, very compact, ideal for backpacking and low water conditions. I think the sluice is about 6.5 inches long. This is probably about 11 inches wide. And what's cool of this, with just simple 4 bolts, you can remove it and it folds into here, so it's a very compact box. So again, if you're looking for something extremely backpackable, something for low water conditions, you're not going to find a better sluice in the world other than
And
this
lightweight.
one. Yeah, it's very lightweight. All right, the next sluice I'm going to go over is our world famous A51 sluice. This has been considered one of the standard sluices for literally decades. It's kind of just the right size for a lot of people. It's a medium-sized sluice. It's still small enough that you can put it in a backpack frame or put on the outside of the backpack frame. You've got your little wings here, so it'll accept more water. But probably the nicest thing about this box is the size,
The capacity.
and exactly, it has a lot of capacity to it. Having a big 10-inch wide box means that, or 10-inch wide sluice means that you can actually process, 4 or 5 gallon buckets in an hour through the sluice, so it has a lot of
I
capacity.
can run a lot more material than that. I'd say more like 10, 12 an hour.
Maybe when we were younger, Patrick. So, anyways, for a guy looking for a medium cost sluice box, this would be the one I would pick. And it's nice and short, compact, and again, it's all made in America, very robust. And now I'm going to talk about our world famous A52 sluice. This has been the workhorse for sluices for well over 70 plus years, right?
Absolutely.
So I'll let you go ahead.
Okay, well, on this you have 2 different indicator mats on here. You have a lot more riffle area, a lot more surface area for your concentrations. And what's nice about this unit is it's larger, the flare detaches, you can actually take the flare and set it down here, put it over the edge of the sluice, and it makes it for a real compact sluice.
See, this here, the length here is about 36 inches. So when you remove this and you separate it, you're now down to a 36-inch wide package. So again, it's very compact.
And it's got the heavy-duty clips. It's got an easy carry handle that's very comfortable on your hands. And this, it's well balanced, and you can carry this thing quite a distance. Another nice thing about it is, with the large flare here, it diverts a lot of water flow into the sluice. So you don't have to, you can use it even in a slow-flowing stream.
Yeah, what else is cool about having all this surface area in the front, you can actually dump like a full shovel load, or dump like, even maybe a third of a bucket or a quarter of a bucket in here at one time. So that as you dump like a pile of material here, the water will erode around it and feed the sluice box slowly. So it's having a lot of surface area is more helpful. If you have a sluice a little smaller like this, you have to, what we call it, feather the material into the sluice.
Yeah, you just have to trowel feed it a little bit slower.
Yeah, more smoother consistency.
Yeah, this you can dump even up to a half of a 5-gallon bucket and walk away as you're looking for more material. And another nice thing about this sluice, if you ever wanted to change this into a dredge or into a high banker, either gasoline or 12-volt version, it's very easy to do.
Yeah, it's an extremely versatile sluice box.
This has kind of been the workhorse of all of our sluices. And this sluice, you can actually run a lot more material. And if you're working hard, you can classify the material, and you can run probably about 10 to 15 buckets an hour easy, maybe more.
when you were a lot younger.
This is our A52S sluice. This is one of the hottest sluices on the market right now. And why? Because you can feed bank run material and you can bucket feed material into the sluice box and you no longer need to classify. I used to spend a lot of time shaking down buckets of rock through a classifier, and after so many buckets, you know, my back's starting to hurt and we're not as young as we used to be. What nice thing about this is you got the legs set up. You could just plop this thing down the stream. Why don't you tell us about the legs, Mark?
You got it. So the really cool thing is, see, normally when I take a sluice box up, it takes me like 15 minutes, sometimes a half hour, just to get the sluice box set up in the right position. This thing, you can literally, in any kind of terrain, just take the box, set it down on whatever kind of terrain you have, adjust to the local terrain, and you're set up and running. So your time goes from, let's say, 5 minutes to like 35 minutes. It is so fast and so efficient to set this thing up. It's amazing. It's truly a game changer.
And one nice thing about this sluice, we've incorporated grizzly bars, punch plate, woven mesh material, and a little bit more punch plate to protect the values underneath it. Underneath the first section of the sluice, you have the indicator mat. We're finding 80–90% of all of our fine gold underneath this first section of the sluice. We probably only find 10 to 15% of our gold in the second set of in the actual sluice box itself. Plus, it also has the Miracle mat, which has been a great matting, which is a miniature rubberized Hungarian riffle that does a great job with trapping superfine material. With most sluice boxes, you have a lot of chaos going on, but with this sluice, with the classification system over the top, you can reduce the turbulence underneath it and slow down the water flow so you can get that finer, better recovery without rocks dancing in between the riffles, migrating your gold eventually out the end of your box.
I can take it out. Okay, so Pat's sucking it up right now. He's just going in, sucking up all the pieces here. Now what's kind of cool about the sniffer ball, that tube actually goes into the plastic tube about maybe 2 or 3 inches. So it gets sucked up, it checks in, it can't check out, which is good. And then we get home later, we'll throw it all in, we'll dump it all into pan, and we'll just, you know, sort it, kind of do a little further
get the
panning.
little bit amount of black sand that's still in there.
Yeah, but we'll sort it out later. But that's kind of the fun part. Usually at night, we'll sit around the campfire and we'll sort out our gold. We'll have some fun with it.